Byron Katie suffered for 43 years and then, in 1986, radically moved into a way of life where suffering is no longer her experience. She received a vision of the work which is being brought to individuals and groups throughout the world. It is our hope that the following recording brings you into the living experience of the work. The Center for the Work is in Barstow, California. The telephone number is 619-256-5653.
Okay. So, Edgar, if you would reiterate.
In many things that I've read over the years, I can't even delineate them right now, they say that we are in God's image and that we're here to create. And the message is almost, if you don't create the life you want, well, shame on you. You know, you're God in your universe. It's all available to you. You know, we create it through our thinking, through our speaking, through all the different things they say. And what I'm left with is hearing it through the ego makes it sound like what I'm supposed to do is create some wealth, or that's what God wants me to do, be fruitful and multiply. Yeah. And that's God's purpose for me. And, of course, I'll graduate out of here when it's time to graduate out of here, but as long as I'm here, let's make it heaven on earth. Let's not have poverty. Let's not have disease. Let's not have any lack at all. And the way my ego hears it is through money, the ideal relationship, attracting my soulmate to me, that I shouldn't settle for anything less than that. I shouldn't settle for anything. I should have the car that I want. I should have the, which says that I don't, but, you know, as soon as that speaks to me, my ego says, yeah, I don't have the car I want, you know. I want a nicer car. I want a bigger house. I want to have more friends. I want to have a bigger bank account. I want all of that.
And if I don't have it, then I'm not doing God's will.
Right, exactly. I should be creating it how I want to create it, so that the highest image of God would be the highest image of creation, and my ego always filtered it through, well, you know, that sounds like millions of dollars, that sounds like a home in Bel Air, that sounds like, and everybody should have that, not just me, but everybody should have that, and that's what God wants. No lack, no poverty.
Until we're all wealthy, we're not there as a civilization.
Something like, yeah,
until we have created paradise for everyone, it's not done. Like everyone should live in Bel Air, you know, that kind of thing.
I've heard it that way, but yeah, that's going in that direction. There shouldn't be an India where everybody is suffering.
There should not be suffering.
There should not be suffering, should not be disease. That God doesn't want that. God wants wholeness, He wants wellness, He wants abundance. That abundance is our natural state. That total love is our natural state. Where is the truth in all this?
Yeah. Okay. So we are here to create. Okay. That's not my experience. I'm here to uncreate. And the only thing that exists for me is I exist as the belief that came up. Prior to that, there was no existence at all. No existence at all. Nothing to create. No creation. No one creating. No thing.
Say that again. I totally went blank. I mean, I really, truly just went away.
Well, what you said was a lot. Okay. So just let that fall. Okay. What I heard you say was, what we hear here is, I am here to create. And what I would say is, I am here to uncreate. The only thing that exists is the belief that just arose. Prior to that belief, there was no existence. So all of you go back to the remembrance of, I don't know, it's been referred to as the space between thoughts. So what I would ask you is except for the belief you find yourself in this moment, prior to that, did anything exist? Can you put yourself where you're daydreaming? You're not attached to any of it. You're daydreaming. You look at the clock, oh my God, I'm late. You see, you didn't exist until, oh my God, I'm late. Then you existed. Okay?
I've heard that before. The I that doesn't show up until there's a breakdown. In other words, if everything's going smoothly, there's no sense of I. If I'm playing the perfect set of tennis and all my shots are going in and it's effortless and it's flowing, there is no I. There's just the flow. There's just a dance. And I don't show up. The I doesn't even occur to me until there's something that I perceive as a breakdown. I missed the shot, and that's the only time that I shows up.
Yes.
Is that the same thing you're saying?
Well, I don't know about that. But I know a belief arises. It could say, isn't it a beautiful day? And that would bring you out of the vastness. It doesn't have to be a negative. But you're in the space that doesn't exist. A belief comes in and you find yourself back in the world. Only it's the opposite. You found yourself out of the world, actually. You come awake with, oh, it's late, or oh, it's a beautiful day. You just left the world. You just entered the world of illusion. So your natural state is prior to that belief. Now here's how you create the world. Here's what a good job you do. You exist in paradise. You attach to the belief of it's a beautiful day. And that's what you created. But it's a false creation. Because that gets married to the assumption that there's something less than that. So that's the first movement, okay, in this theoretical condition. So it keeps Gary getting married to, I am here to create. I'll create beauty. Well, I don't think that's the way John put this center together. And I don't think it's what Frank did. And personally, just to use that word as a joke, personally, I know I had nothing to do with it. I am a lover of beauty. And beauty to me is the vastness. And I wouldn't leave it to attach to the belief that there should be a center here or it should look like anything. Now look around and see what that has created when I stay out of it. The way that I create is I stay the hell out of it. Because it is hell. What could you create here intentionally with a plan that has ever worked? Ever. Buildings fall. You create wealth, you die. What purpose has your idea of what should be created ever served? Ever. Miss the mortgage? Guess what? Create the perfect world with a plan and experience the emptiness. The whole plan was created on the road of the plan, in the doing of it, because that is, what it serves is to keep you from the experience of, in my language, non-creation, where you know you do not exist. You are the vastness.
So as long as I'm under the illusion that I'm creating something, I'm keeping alive the lie I.
Yes.
Which is why the ego is invested in creating.
Yes.
If I think that I'm here to create, okay, and I think that I'm doing the creating, then creating is the mechanism that keeps alive I.
That is the journey. That's the plan lived. It doesn't go to a goal. Belief by belief by belief by belief by belief. That is the, that you're living the plan that wouldn't know itself.
Yeah, as long as I think I'm creating anything, there's no undoing myself.
Yes.
It's impossible.
Yes.
It keeps a lie I alive.
Yes. Haven't you noticed a plan hurts?
Yes.
You're saying you know what's best. You're saying there's a you. So ask questions around this.
How can I charge people money when Katie herself in Neon doesn't? And then the answer is, well, Giovanni made it very clear, if you don't pay the rent and utilities, you're kicked out, because that's why there's an office available, because the last person got kicked out.
You're just singing the song. You're just singing the song. It comes to you to do it, you just do it. And all the pain around it is how you hurt yourself. If you just follow the voice, you come to know eventually that there is not even a voice. I always tell people, follow the voice, because it's what you have. When you don't, it hurts. And I tell stories about it is my love. I am devoted to that, following the voice. And with me, there's no voice. You see, that's the last part of it. Can't be heard yet. Or it can. There is no voice. I am movement. I watch it do itself. I create no thing. It's you that says something's being created. I just move as that. I would charge, I wouldn't charge. Not my business. You just move, Abby. And every judgment around it you have, undo. There is no right or wrong to it. Undo yourself. I tell you truly, you are my body. You can't do it wrong. If it hurts, undo it. You're the one that says you do it wrong. To charge is not higher or lower than not to charge. If you have a plan, you may want to take a look at that. It would sound like you're going to open counseling to heal someone. Open counseling, charge whatever you want, pay the rent, and undo yourself. Sweetheart, everything that you haven't undone in you, we're going to bring to you in that counselor's office.
Yeah, and then, all right.
Okay, any other questions around creating? You are here to create.
I was going to say, there's a place inside of me I found that's silent, and I can live there. And I'm there, and it's all there, and I don't even know where it is, but it's in there. Until all of a sudden I have a thought, oh my God, I have to pay my bills. And then I pop out, and then I'm in suffering, and I'm worried again. Mm-hmm. But I can be there and not be there. I can go between both. And then I was going to ask you, that's what I was going to ask you, was, well, what about being responsible? I'm told you've got to be
Sweetheart,
responsible.
you can pay your bills. You just have a plan about how that's to look.
Yeah.
It would come to me to mop floors, to clean in your house, to, and I don't even have to know that. I cannot not support myself. I would be walking down a sidewalk, homeless, no money, no nothing. Doesn't sound like bills either. Just walking down and see something, a paper on the ground. I know to pick it up. I just know in the moment. I'm not saying every moment I would. I wouldn't even see it another moment. Both perfect, both equal. To see it, to not see it. To pick it up, not pick it up, equal. I'm walking down the street, I pick it up. Someone says, I notice that you're a good citizen. That would be their opinion. I say, oh, I really enjoyed that. You know, whatever it would be. I'm just saying a conversation, how it could happen. They say, well, I have this, would you? And I would say yes. And I would make that donation, and they would make that donation. You see, I would do it for my sake. And then the next, and the next, and the next. I cannot not be wealthy. I cannot not be wealthy. It has nothing to do with money.
Well, my thoughts about responsibility when I suffer are just my beliefs
Yes.
about what it is not.
If
really.
you think you have bills to pay, get 5 jobs. Pay them. Not doing it is what hurts you. You're saying it needs to look like this, 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 and this. Drop your plan. Yeah. Pay your bills.
Okay.
Go get 5 jobs. Don't wait for Michael. He's not supposed to. You are. I hear you want to pay your bills.
Yeah.
Haven't you noticed when life is when life is perfect, which is when you're getting everything you want, that you're not bothered, that your life is ease, as Edgar would say, not in dis-ease. And then in that, you receive that you are, the vastness, prior to all of it. That's the bill you pay. The bill you're paying is you're not giving you what you want. You want your bills paid? Go pay them. And I don't joke about 5 jobs. I hear you want your bills paid. And if you think you want to acquire more, you have a plan for more wealth, get 6 jobs. Eventually you'll fall on your face and you'll come to know. But right now your integrity is you want your bills paid. Pay them. The highest truth is the one you're in. We can't just sit in the vastness before it's earned. Hasn't worked. All these books are written and all these things are written. You see, beautiful words. You can get them from the Kabbalah, from the Quran, from all the old teachings. Write them out, feel the resonance, put them in your name. You got it. How do you wear it internally? It's not your property until it is. Until you're the book you read, it's not legitimate. It's not going to bring you happiness. Do the work. Know yourself. Know yourself. That's all. That's your only job. When you come to see that there's nothing that can't be undone, it all begins to fall like a stack of cards until you attach to a plan. You kink the hose.
So I just have to do what I have to do. And that's it.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah.
And the piece of that, you come to know. Or what I would say is you come to unknow. Okay, more questions around wealth. Creating.
With reference to what Rhonda said, you said, well, then just do what's right in front of you.
Yes.
Well, what is there to do?
The thing in front of it comes to you, Michael, and you don't do it.
But if there's a choice of things, I can go back to my country, I can stay here, I can pay the bills or not, I can get in trouble or not. Do I have a life purpose?
No, you have you just to undo yourself. You know what I just heard is you want to go back to your country. That's what you are attached to. And you will do that if you have to make every enemy around you, to name it that, to do it. That may be what you have to do. And guess what? When you get back to your country, there you are again.
Where I'm left is now is, why aren't I hearing this anywhere else? In all the churches, in all the religions, in all the belief systems, all over the planet.
Because they're taking books that have already been written, they're reading them, they're finding a resonance within them, and they're rewriting it and not having the experience of it, other than a resonance.
And when they're rewriting it, they're really writing what they believe the book says. Is that right? If they,
Well, I can't know any of that. So what these books do is and these partial truths, they take people to a place, and it's a beginning. You know, that's an expression I use so often. It's a beginning. You think you're enlightened, it's a beginning. You think you've had the ultimate revelation, it's a beginning. How do I know? It's a beginning. You see?
so it's almost like a number 6.
Yes.
You know, if I get so painfully, in such a painful experience from trying to do those things as best I did everything I possibly thought that I could over there to be what I thought I needed to be.
Yes, honey. Yes.
Everything.
You're so good.
Until finally it hurt so much, I just had to be propelled
Yes.
away from the place.
Yes. But wasn't there a wonderful resonance there for a while until you outgrew it?
Yeah, there was.
Yes, sweetheart. It was beautiful and pure. You just outgrew.
What? No, I never looked at it that way. I never looked like it as outgrew it. But that's... Yeah.
Well, what else would entice you away?
Well, the rap over there was that my ego came up against something that it couldn't face. And that's why I left.
Okay, so you're the only one that could answer that question.
Right. And that wasn't true. I just saw so much...
So there's the answer.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
Yeah.
I mean, when you know how you eat a great big meal and you're full and you still want dessert. You see? Well, you go to these places that teach these beautiful truths and you've eaten this great big meal and you get full, but there's still the hunger for dessert. Okay, it's not quite enough, and your stomach's sticking out, and you're full, and you can hold, but there's the dessert. You see, the hunger. So eventually, you just have to go for the cake. You see, the next step. That's not a very good analogy. But I tell you, until you hit all the way purity, you're always going to be hungry. And when a place, like a certain place can't give it to you anymore, and you hear a song you resonate higher with, you're just going to move that. It's the hunger for your very nature. No thing is your nature. No creation is your nature.
Okay, so if I'm created in God's image, and God is a creator...
Blah, blah, blah.
Blah, blah, blah.
There's no God. He didn't create anything, and there's no He. And there's not even anyone asking the question. And let's play with it.
Yeah, I can't say I'm there yet.
Okay.
Because I really think I am asking the question. I do think you're sitting there.
Yes.
And, if you can drive the nail into this last nail into the coffin of this ego, I'd be greatly appreciative.
Let's do it.
And that's how I live.
Yes. So continue it in that way. Ask it again.
Okay, if I'm created in God's image, and God is the creator, how can I be the uncreator and still be in God's image?
Okay. If you're creating in God's image, I will tell you truly that you are. You're creating in the image that you think should exist. So the ego thinks it's God, and it's creating in its own image.
Wait, no, I just got it. I think I got it. Let's see if it's...
It's very subtle.
So what's creating, what thinks it's creating, is an ego. Because there's no such thing as creating. Thank you.
Very sweet. And that's, you can hear now what maybe you couldn't hear prior to, but there is no God creating. And don't move to it if it doesn't. Don't move from where you are. Okay. I want to ask you something. Okay. God is the creator. Can you really know that?
No.
Yeah.
No. If we go back to the age of reason, okay, where they believed that there were certain a priori truths, truths that like stand by themselves, I would say that would be the only one that could stand by itself. That
Good.
God is.
Good.
And I can't know that.
Yes.
So reason truly just falls apart
Yes.
from the outset.
So who would you be without the belief that God is the creator? Who or what would you be?
I would just be.
Yes. Uncreated.
So let me see if I heard this right. So if there is no God creating, then there is no creating.
There's no created, nothing created.
No
It just
creating,
leaves
nothing
you
created.
and no one to blame it on like God. Not your good and not your bad. It points out God. Points out. God created all of this. Can you hear it? You created all of this.
But you just said we don't create anything.
Belief systems create.
So it's some of it is a belief. I see that and I name that the belief present.
The belief is God created all of this so that you don't have to look at you and know that you created it. Because if you thought you created it, you wouldn't know what the hell to do with it. Because there's nothing out there and you know it. You always knew it, even as a child. You knew when you close your eyes that when you open them, that nothing existed outside of that. You still know that.
Who I be without it would be nothing.
Yeah. That's the ego's terror. The truth. And that's the ego's terror. The terror is, it's always afraid of the truth. And the truth is, it is nothing. And so it still does the last holdout and says there's nothing but God. Okay? Now when we look at the ego doing that, it still says something exists. So where it went to the no thing, it says except for this little sacred cow over here. You see? So you still leave arms to fall into. You see? How clever of you. And one reason it hasn't been taught is that it's not real popular. And that was kind of a joke because to know it or to experience it is always going to speak it if it's real. And it doesn't care if it's hung on a cross. It doesn't care if it's cold or hungry. It doesn't care if it's friend or friendless, because none of it exists for it. Okay, Edgar, keep asking.
I still want to drive this home.
Yes, Angel.
With every yeah, but, how about, what if I can
Yes.
think of.
Let's do it.
And I can't think of any.
And everyone's serving this a question. You are here to create. You are made in the image of God, here to create. Any questions around that?
If there were a purpose, the purpose was to experience everything that isn't. And that's what life in this realm, on this planet, what we're doing is to experience everything that isn't.
That is accurate. What I could say to play with it is, I am here to create to experience everything that isn't, Now drop the word experience. But all we can hear is, I'm here to experience everything that isn't. That's as close as words can tell us. But you can't experience what's not.
What is the point of being here to experience what isn't? Why?
Ask yourself.
Well, I don't even know whose it is that is supposed to experience it.
It's you think.
I know, if there is no me, then who is
There's a
supposed
me as long as you believe it. Undo it. And that's what we're doing, sweetheart.
Okay, let me ask you another question. If it's our job to come home, but there's no us to come home, where did the movement start?
There's not even a home, Ellen.
So, okay, so there isn't any place to go. There's no movement. So why are we,
So ask yourself, why are you
what is all
here?
this manifestation about?
Because you just ask a question
And that manifested.
within the belief that there should be an answer. You were created. You know, it's so rare that I do like a sat song like this. It's just so rare. The only true sat song is when you go inside and ask you. And this is fine. I am you. I am your internal. I am your truth appearing outside of you until I'm not.
Reminds me of the old joke about the guy who's lost on a country road and runs into a farmer and says, "How do I get to Cincinnati?" And he says, "Oh, you can't get there from here." You know, I can't get to there being an ego. It has to be undone. And then I'm there, and there's no there to even get to.
Yeah.
But I can't get there from this speaking, whatever it is that's speaking. It has to be undone, and then there's no place to get to. So it's a joke.
You suffer every belief.
It's just really stop wanting, isn't it?
Yes.
It's
Have,
even
want.
to stop
Remember the
wanting.
triangle, the ego's triangle is what I call it. Believe at the top, and then in one at the bottom of the triangle is have, H-A-V-E. Then the corner of the other triangle is want. So that's the triangle, the trilogy of the ego. You believe that you can have something, and you believe that you want something. That's it. That's all. That's the ego. The trilogy of the ego. Like we could say, God is, there's a triangle there, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, and in other religions they have other triangles. Well, the ego has one. Believes it can have, believes it wants. The end. That's all. That's all. That's all. There's another way to say it. It goes, you know, the thing that I share so often, you think you want something, or you think you're going to lose something. You see, you think you have something to lose. That's all. So all of your pain is you're confused about that. You think you have something, let go. In other words, flip it. But you don't have to flip it mentally. You see, and then it will come or go. Yeah, you think you need avatar, okay? That you want that you can have that, you see? So, until you let it go, it can't be yours. You see, I'm not an avatar until I let go of the belief that I should be one. Yeah, I want to be one. I would like to be me now. Not this or this or this or that. Not my plan of what that would look like or who that is. To want to have that. Anything, the simplest thing. That's where you're confused. For me to want something would be insane. My wonderful older son, Bob, yesterday, he thought he wanted to spend time with me. And he called and had this plan that we would go to the mountains, like a family, because I'm always traveling out there. And even with tears in his eyes, he said, I miss you. I want you. More than tears in his eyes, this grown man, loving his mother. And I said, sweetheart, and he was panicking that his sister was changing her mind, his brother was changing, and his plan wasn't going his way. And I said, sweetheart, I'm here. I'm going with you. Nothing's changing my mind. That was really hard for him to hear. But he could hear it now. He can hear at a higher level now when I speak, because I'm one to be trusted. It's changed for him. So he has this plan, and we take off, and there are these 2 babies in the motorhome, and he and I, and then Paul driving, and we don't even get out of town. We're not even at the college yet, and the air conditioner goes off. It breaks. In the motorhome, there's not a lot of circulation, and so it's very hot. It's middle of the afternoon. And so we go a little further, and then the motorhome heats up. Well, now we're way out of town. So then it's blowing out water, and it just goes on and on and on. And I am having the most wonderful time. You see, the thought would be, he thinks he wants something. You see? That's what it looks like. He had a plan. That's what it looks like.
That was a story, and I want to listen to that story more than another story. But how can I know that?
What story do I need to hear? The one that just came up. How do I know? Here it is. And that would be within your mind.
Yeah, I'm in a want, and I see that that's what I'm calling a problem, if that's the symbol we can use.
That's all you attach to.
Yeah.
You want this story and not that story. Attachment.
But I sense why I keep wanting. I want to hear these stories because I guess I'm afraid. There's something that's keeping me here.
That's what's so sweet about us being together is I am your safety. You see, no harm ever comes to me.
But if I left this story and I didn't want anything else,
I see.
that's if I had a want, that's it.
Yes. That's the thing. Who would you be without your story?
My mind keeps wanting to not staying in the present.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I know that's how I do my work.
If you stay in the writing, it trains it to stay in the present. Eventually your mind takes on the writing. It goes at that speed. You can discern all the thoughts moving through. You write them, do the work with them, and eventually it's like an inner knowing that if something comes up, you're going to have to write it and see that it was an illusion. So you stop the illusion and see it for what it is before you have to write it. Eventually, you train yourself not to have to write with an integrity rather than a slothfulness or a lie. Let's look at your opinion. I suggest that she write about Avatar, all the wonderful things that it is and what it gives her.
Avatar provides tools for me to realize my beliefs create the reality I live in.
Do you need Avatar for that?
Do I need Avatar
For that? Like someone walks through this room and they come through this door and walk through that door, you're going to do a whole story about what that is, you have just created your own reality. That's how you did it. And you didn't even do it on purpose. That's what creating your own reality means. Someone walks through the room, you attach a story to it, you have just created your own reality. When you hear people say, you create your own reality, they go, oh good, I can, and I don't mean you. But people hear it and, oh, I should have $1 million, I should create this, I should create that. Excuse me. No, you just created a story about how you've fallen short or how you should be. What it means is, again, someone walks through the room, you attach a story to it, you have just created your own reality about what that was. That's all that means. That's it. So as we continue to do this, maybe we'll play with it. Okay, honey? So do you need Avatar or anyone else to create your own reality? You do it every time you look out and see something. You do it every time you hear something. You do the story about what that sound means. You've just created your own reality. Sophie, if you could get this, sweetheart, it's really big. One is at least honest, and the other is a plan, and there's no right or wrong about a plan. It's just we do it until we don't. So let's look at the next one.
Avatar brings me home to pure awareness, a place there is no duality, just is.
Okay, so turn it around. I
bring me home to pure awareness.
Yes.
Oh, okay, I got it.
Good.
So I bring me home through the process of Avatar.
You bring you home just the way you wrote it, reverse. You see that attachment to Avatar, how you hold on to that around everything you come to. You reach out because of this, outside source. And I hear you.
I understand, but I don't know why I have such resistance to let go. I'm holding on to my life.
It's okay if you do, sweetheart. It's okay if you do it, and I'm not asking you to let go. We're just here to gently take a look, not to lose anything. You know, I always say about the work, if you, until you can be comfortable anywhere, anytime, the work's not done. Truth doesn't lose anything, it gains everything.
Maybe because I have a belief that you cannot share something you are not committed or convicted to do.
You won't be a good role model.
And so maybe with that belief I hold on to my own conviction.
I'm hearing that's a possibility. So reverse it again with the whole thing. I
bring me home to pure awareness.
And keep reading.
Pardon?
Keep reading. There was more to that.
A place there is no duality, just is.
Yes.
What I'm hearing in that is that what we do is latch onto you or Avatar and say, that does it.
Yeah. And if you've latched on to me, then you don't see me.
Or we can latch onto the work, which is impossible because the work is its own. I just got that.
Yes, Angel. It's the opposite of a process, isn't it? Yes. It is not a thing. It is not an entity. It is you. It's the simplest guidance. Yours. Okay, sweetheart, let's look at the next one.
Avatar provides tools to realize that I am the one who is responsible for my own creation.
Good. Okay. Now turn it around. Put the word world in there before you. The world provides.
The world provides tools to realize that I am the one who is responsible for my creation.
Yes. Now put the word mother there.
My mother provides tools. I got it. I got what you're saying. It's I slash on avatar. It's just everything is. There's no avatar. It's just anything what comes into your face. That is the one who brings me home, and I call it avatar. And I don't want to put it into this box like avatar only, and it's not. It's just.
And sweetheart, to let go is like the end of a dream. You know, you're going to. It's been your whole dream to go give avatar to people in China and people in the world. It's like the death of a whole dream. What I'm getting is that your dream is bringing you more pain and misery than the opposite, which was your plan, your intention.
But it doesn't mean that I cannot do avatar. I just do avatar from a different space.
Yes. Yes. See, that's what you did with your brothers and sisters. Your brother and sister. You're doing avatar the same way.
And I think that's the part which is such a big lie, and I am scared to really face it because deep down I think there was a part I knew it.
Yes.
But I was afraid because afraid if I let go of avatar and didn't do the work that we are doing, I didn't know what to replace it.
Yes. Yes. Like if we let go, if we drop it within our clutches that we never had anyway, we drop what we thought we had, we let go of it, we think we're going to lose it, but the opposite happens.
I know I didn't have avatar before, but I had a very full life, and after I had an avatar, I feel like more limited because my mind gets really fledged on that word avatar.
Yes, sweetheart, it does. It attracts a lot of people because it's who you are. You are avatar, and you know it. So you attach to a thing that said avatar. So detach from the thing that says avatar and be avatar. So now let's turn that one around with your name on it.
I provide tools to realize that I am the one who is responsible for my own creation.
And here's what your creation looks like. Your story happening, and you have just created. That's as limiting as creation gets. Everything else in the material world is a metaphor for that. Can you hear it, Edgar? Everything. Everything. We don't create in the material world. There isn't one. We create in the mind.
Avatar enable us to surrender our judgments on our beliefs and be able to be home.
Okay. So put the word in your mind, world, mother, all of it, but use the word I, but with all of that in mind, reverse it.
I enable me to surrender all judgments on all beliefs, be able to be home.
Go to the next one.
No more. Thank you. This is a very important piece for me. I appreciate that. Been struggling for a while. I haven't been able to do Avatar for 6 months because of this piece. Because I knew I wasn't living in my integrity.
There's nothing we can't teach when we're clear. Nothing. Because it becomes clear that we're not teaching. Just undoing. Okay. Thank you, sweetheart.
So is, getting back to this creation, is it our misperception of what we perceive that we see?
Yes. And hear. Yeah. And taste and feel. Yeah. We do a story about what that experience is.
And it's a misperception.
Yes. Because there's no story that's valid. Because anyone that touched the same thing you do would have a different story. That's why we call it sticky or wet. We have all these names for it to agree that there's something that really exists. Who determined it was sticky originally? You see, it's a myth that we have passed on so that we can have control over, yes, there really is a world and I didn't create it, God did. What can happen is you can actually, like the words lose their meaning and you can actually experience where, like the tone goes up and down, like excitement or drama, or the lower and the dramatic, like that. You're like an instrument. The body's like an instrument, and it's feeling things. You can actually, like one sound will hit you here, and it may hit the whole body at once. It plays on you like you're a piano or something, or an instrument. But when words lose meaning for you, that's one of the really fine things you become, is just an instrument, just sound, you see. So play with that also. You see, like hear the sound of my voice as it hits you now, we could say. Now feel where it hits you. You see arms, legs, chest, or imagine chimes going off, like the chimes, rosemary rings. Where does it hit? You see, you don't even have to have it here to project it. You don't even know you're doing it. Okay, and then eventually, without interpretation of sound, the feeling stops. You always know what's going on. In effect, it's just that there's no meaning to it anymore. You're above, looking down at cause and effect. Original cause is here. Observer. And then that moves. Everything in beginning. And where you are, from here it looks like perfection to me. You know, if my left foot takes a step out, the right foot's behind and it follows. You see? So you're my feet. And in that space between, in time and space, as the left foot moves out, it does all of it to the finish, and then it sits down. All of it, everything that's ever been done is in that space. And then the right one catches up with all of that space, and you put it all together, and you have what you call us. No thing missing, no step missing. You try to skip it. Try to skip a little piece of it. A foot doesn't do it because it can't be done.
That's true. You know, I noticed that when I'm around Katie and you have me do inquiry, I will go inside quicker and longer than if I'm around someone. Why is that?
the part of you inside that you don't listen to very well, it's appearing to sit here outside of you. So you think there's an outside, so you can hear your inside easier from here, because you still believe in it. So I'm inside of you louder, hearing outside. You can hear you clearer from here. And isn't that what the work is? I judge you because I can't hear it from here. To be out there and make the circle. What I say about this one, we can say about all. It's just, this is the piece we prefer listening to because it is who we really are. It's purity. Sweet. Welcome.